सैनिक स्कूल में आपने बोला पाइवेटल भी था, क्या ऐसी चीज़ थी जो पाइवेटल बनाया उसने?
आज तक सैनिक स्कूल में 6 बजे उठाते हैं। अगर आप नहीं उठे तो आपको ये नहीं प्यार से नहीं उठाया जाता जैसे माएँ उठाती हैं। इट्स आई वुड लाइक टू मेंशन इट्स अ प्रीटी रफ वे दे जोल्ट यू आउट ऑफ द बेड। मतलब सैनिक स्कूल ने ऐसी आदतें डाल दी जो अब तक मेरी हड्डियों में समझ लीजिए वो रस गई है।
क्या इसी कारण से आप यूथफुल हैं आज भी?
नहीं
अमेजिंग। तो अभी आपने जिक्र किया था सिविल सर्विसेज का।
या यू नो सिविल सर्विस आई वुड से taught me even more than सैनिक स्कूल।
आईएएस की जो प्रोबेबिलिटी थी वो बहुत कम होती है। आज का डेटा अगर कुछ देखें तो इफ़ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग तो 15 से 20 लाख बच्चा बैठता है, जिसमें से जो अपॉर्चुनिटी होती है दैट इज़ फॉर 1000 एंड मैक्सिमम 2000 की होती है। तो जो आपका बचा हुआ बच्चा है या तो वो दोबारा रिपीट करता है या वो कुछ और करने लग जाता है। तो वहाँ पे आप क्या सजेस्ट करेंगे कि उनको क्या सीखना चाहिए या क्या थॉट प्रोसेस होना चाहिए कि फेलियर वो फील ना करें?
That is actually people who don't make it. They should be looked upon as a great resource for the country, and I think government is not doing something on that front. This is what I've heard, that to look at those.
लक को कैसे समझे, क्या करें, क्या एक्सरसाइजेस, क्या सॉल्यूशंस हम कर सकते हैं टू इम्प्रूव आवर लक थ्रू हिंदुइज्म और जो भी आपकी फिलोसफीज है, प्लीज।
Which wasn't the easiest for me also, but I learned so many things.
जी,
I learned so many things. Now you're talking about Hinduism. You said
luck and Hinduism and solutions for students and youth.
how do you cope up with some of these things? Actually, if you look at the birth of religion,
जी,
it's not very important whether God exists or not.
जी,
Some of the religions.
all right, so today we have a youth with us, and why I'm saying youth, जब मैं पंजाब जाता हूँ या पंजाब की कोई चीज़ देखता हूँ, आई पर्सनली फील माई सेल्फ दैट येस पंजाब इज़ ऑल अबाउट यूथ। अब जाइए, बहुत जोश है, बहुत जज्बा है, बट उस यूथ को कायम रखना भी किसी किसी के बस की बात होती है। तो वी हैव गेस्ट टुडे सर हरदीपक जी, वेलकम टू आवर पॉडकास्ट। First of all, I want to thank you for giving me this book, and I want to learn a lot, and we are going to discuss more about it on our podcast. I just want you to introduce yourself in your own youthful language, please, sir.
Thank you so much, Vineet, and I really appreciate your calling me over. And you have started with a wonderful lie that you know about youthfulness. But yes, there is a lot to excite anyone about life, and there is a lot that you learn from life. But at the same time, life is a very, very holistic kind of a thing. So just one aspect doesn't totally explain it. But thank you very much. Yeah.
I just want you to tell us about your journey. आपने कैसे स्टार्ट करा, and I want you to make us understand कि आपने स्कूल क्यों स्टार्ट करा या स्कूल का क्या जर्नी था आपका, क्या इम्पैक्ट यू वांट टू क्रिएट?
Okay. So my first 4 years I spent in my village, Jassowal, about 30 kilometers from Ludhiana. And then when I was about 5, the family migrated to Ludhiana. And Ludhiana, there were schools, colleges. So I studied there for about 10, 11 years. That environment was more challenging than the one available in village. And then I got an opportunity to go to Sainik School, Chittorgarh, and also Sainik School Kapurthala, which was a great experience, and I learned a lot from interacting with not only with the teachers but students from other parts of India. So that was a pivotal moment in my life. And after that, I studied both in Ludhiana and Chandigarh. Then I joined the civil service. I was allotted to UP cadre, I spent about 10 years in UP and then next 15 years in Government of India and 5 years as consultant to Asian Development Bank in Colombo. Now you asked me what was the motivation or how did you start building a school in the village?
Right.
So after I came back from Colombo, I quit the service. I just wanted to do something different. Writing was very dear to me, and also in school, my brother had financed a huge tennis academy, one of the best in the country. So we were discussing one day, and we said, okay, if we can combine it with school, then people may find the idea even more attractive because the trainees are coming from all over India.
Okay.
And they would want education to go hand in hand with the tennis training. So that is how it started. But now it's been, it started in 2009. Now it's been more than 15 years. And when I visit school now, I live in Noida these days. When I visit school now, the thing that gives me most satisfaction is not only the school is running very well, you can say in the middle of nowhere, it provides Cambridge curriculum. The teachers are from all over India, from Tamil Nadu, from Kerala, a large contingent is from Bengal. And
Have you seen Gokul Dham Society, Tarak Mehta Ka Ulta Chashma?
no,
Okay, so in Tarak Mehta Ka Ulta Chashma, there is the same concept Asit Modi has portrayed.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's amazing. When you interact with talent from all over the country, you just feel so enriched. You just feel so, I would even say, so secure in India's future. You see these minds, spending their lives in a village in Punjab and giving their very best to the students and truly enriching the environment in school. And the results are now beginning to show it is the best Cambridge. It's the best school with Cambridge curriculum in Punjab. And 15 years is a very short time in the life of a school because first few years are spent, in trying to stabilize it. So very pleased with the way it has grown. And we have been very, very fortunate to have excellent people working with us, both in the faculty as well as administration. Yeah.
मैं आपको थोड़ा सा पीछे लेके जाता हूँ. आई वॉन्ट टू नो मोर अबाउट दिस थिंग. आई मेट विद मेजर राहुल. ही इज़ वी मेट एट IIT दिल्ली. तो कुछ कॉन्टेक्स्ट था. तो उनको मैंने अपना एक कॉन्सेप्ट बताया कि आई वॉन्ट टू इनकलकेट 15 OLQs, ऑफिसर लाइक क्वालिटीज़, जो कि एक आर्मी पर्सन में ही होती है, राइट. एंड जो एक बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग फैक्ट मुझे लगता है, एक आर्मी पर्सन फेल नहीं होता, एक स्पोर्ट्समैन फेल नहीं होता और एक एंटरप्रेन्योर फेल नहीं होता लाइफ में. 3 बड़ी मेजर चीज़ें हैं जो फेल नहीं होती. द सेम वे आई वॉन्ट टू टेक यू लिटल बैक. तो आपने सैनिक स्कूल का जिक्र किया. सैनिक स्कूल में आपने बोला पाइवेटल भी था. क्या ऐसी चीज़ थी जो पाइवेटल बनाया उसने? नॉर्मल स्कूलिंग या नॉर्मल जो एक स्कूल होता है उससे पाइवेटल क्या था? और देन आई विल कम टू दिस सिविल सर्विस थिंग.
ओके, सी सैनिक स्कूल में जो सबसे बड़ी चीज़ मुझे दी, दैट वाज डिसिप्लिन.
ओके.
And punctuality is a part of discipline, Discipline is a much bigger concept. और उसमें हर चीज़ वक्त पर और जो भी आपको करना है उसका एक तरीका होता है, उस प्रकार से आपको करना. मतलब सैनिक स्कूल ने ऐसी आदतें डाल दी जो अब तक मेरी हड्डियों में समझ लीजिए वो रस गई हैं.
क्या इसी कारण से आप यूथफुल हैं आज भी?
नहीं ये बार बार कह के you are making me little uncomfortable, लेकिन मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ.
I want to make you feel uncomfortable if you are feeling like this way, because this will going to impact a lot.
Okay.
Youthfulness doesn't mean with only age, but it's
Yeah.
with the mindset
No,
and thought process, I would say.
I get that and thank you very much. तो सैनिक स्कूल में यह एक तो you're not a privileged guy, okay? Everyone is there, all the boys have made it through an entrance exam and और उसमें जैसे मैंने कहा कि वो चीज़ रच जाती है आपके हड्डियों में. आज तक सैनिक स्कूल में 6 बजे उठाते हैं. अगर आप नहीं उठे तो आपको ये नहीं प्यार से नहीं उठाया जाता जैसे माएँ उठाती हैं. It's I won't like to mention it. It's a pretty rough way. They jolt you out of the bed. तो वहाँ पे आपको अभी तक खाली 6 बजे जाग आती है क्योंकि समझ गए? अगर मैं रात के 2 बजे भी सो रहा हूँ तो 6 बजे जाग आनी है. सो ऑल्सो यू नो हाउ टू स्ट्रक्चर योर डे, किस तरीके से पढ़ना है, क्या करना है. यू आर ऑन योर ओन. You're not, with your parents and siblings to help you out. You have to pretty much figure, your own way about relationships with friends, teachers, and everything. So you become more and more independent. And I would say, large number of students go on to become fairly independent in their approach to life. Yeah. So that is what Senate School is.
सो इन शॉर्ट सबकॉन्शियस डेवलप करते हैं वहाँ अगर.
I would say so.
ओके.
I would say so. When you look at the very basic structure of mind, I think they're able to help in that aspect. They're definitely able to help him and inculcate qualities in you.
So inculcation itself means subconsciously that you are
yeah,
putting up.
yeah.
Okay, great,
You assimilate those qualities.
amazing. तो अभी आपने जिक्र किया था सिविल सर्विसेज का. कैन यू जस्ट गिव अस सम ब्रीफ कि कैसे क्या आपने किया था?
Yeah, civil service, I would say, taught me even more than Sainik School.
ओके.
It was something that built upon the foundation provided by Sainik School,
सो यू हैव डन यूपीएससी और व्हाट?
UPSC.
ओके.
So I was in the IAS. So because सबसे बड़ी बात सिविल सर्विस में ये हुई कि even during our foundational course and the training that we undergo at Missouri and also in the field that
लबासना राइट?
yeah,
ओके.
that lasts for 2 years. और उसमें आप हर जगह के लोगों से मिलते हैं और आपको अपनी limitations, how to navigate through those limitations, knowledge about the country, when you discuss ideas with your friends. और सिविल सर्विस में ये तो एकेडमी में सीखा कि it is an interaction which is unequaled, I would say. I can understand NDA is a great experience. All these, common services kind of a thing, institutions are great experience. But civil service, I would say it's even more intensely so. Because it discusses, rural areas, it discusses the various problems in the country, and then you discuss it with people. That's the academic part. But the greatest thing that I learned about civil services, that it's an exposure to every aspect of national life.
Okay.
I totally enjoyed visiting the villages. Maybe the first 4 years in village, maybe as you said, maybe it was part of subconscious.
So you were SDM or?
Yeah, SDM, ADM, DM, continuing like that. So I enjoyed visiting villages. Then I also enjoyed, for example, when people say, what should be the basic quality of a civil servant? They always talk about honesty. Now, according to me, honesty should be a given. You should not be proud of your honesty. Saying that you are honest should be just like you have 5 fingers or, you have eyes and all that. It should be a natural for a civil servant. The qualities that are required, really, because, we see so much lack of integrity that sometimes you tend to overemphasize honesty. But the qualities that are really required is, your empathy for the people of this country, your ability to deliver ideas and programs, your ability to be a kind of a person who is a bridge between the political class and the people. And then I tell you, if you don't, and because your reputation travels before you, everybody knows about you when you go for a new posting, because people have already know about you, you're talked of. So I would say those are the qualities which are required in a civil servant. Understanding where the country is positioned, understanding where the people you are interacting with, what are their hopes and aspirations, how best to meet with them, how best to be a guide and a mentor and also an implementer. what are the possibilities you can create in your particular job. And I tell you, I found nothing comes in your way. When you talk to the political class, I found them very receptive to ideas. I actually never had a problem with the political class. They were very, very welcoming. They were, apart from one or two experiences, but very, very welcoming and supported the ideas. Because, you know, the strength of an idea is such that it builds a terrific relationship. Because people see it in your eyes. People see it in the way you speak, you know. They see the passion behind the idea. And the ministers agree to it. You know, they see something exciting. So I found I doubt if I ever had any problem, relating with the political class or the people. And you should be, occasional setback is always there, but you should take it in your stride and start again. And most of the time the experiences are very good.
फॉर द व्यूअर्स मैं एक चीज़ सिंप्लीफाई करवाना चाह रहा हूँ आपसे. आपने आईएएस दिया, राइट. आईएएस की जो प्रोबेबिलिटी थी वो बहुत कम होती है. आज का डेटा अगर कुछ देखें तो इफ़ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग तो 15 से 20 लाख बच्चा बैठता है, जिसमें से जो अपॉर्चुनिटी होती है दैट इज़ फॉर 1000 एंड मैक्सिमम 2000 की होती है. तो जो आपका बचा हुआ बच्चा है या तो वो दोबारा रिपीट करता है या वो कुछ और करने लग जाता है. तो वहाँ पे आप क्या सजेस्ट करेंगे कि उनको क्या सीखना चाहिए या क्या थॉट प्रोसेस होना चाहिए कि फेलियर वो फील ना करें?
या सबसे पहले तो ये बात है, IAS इज ऑल्सो, आई वुड से, हार्ड वर्क ऑफ कोर्स, एंड जनरल काइंड ऑफ ए, you should be competent in the subjects you have taken. But I think the more, sometimes little luck also, because एक मार्क का फर्क पड़ता है
जी.
And I have seen so many boys who are much brighter than me in college. They couldn't make it. But they are a great resource for the country. उस दिन आपका कुछ ठीक हो गया या आपने जो तैयारी करी थी वो आ गई. So it's a, there is a percentage of luck in it. But that is actually people who don't make it, they should be looked upon as a great resource for the country. And I think government is not doing something on that front. This is what I've heard, that to look at those people who have, missed by a narrow margin or whatever, to use them, in jobs, not only related to administration, but in other fields. And I would say coping up with failure is an essential part. Every failure teaches you much more than success. Success, it can, it can make you heady. You become unaware of your, unaware of some of the qualities which may not be great. But when there is failure along with success, you learn a lot faster. You learn a lot faster. So I think they are a great resource, but one has to apply more mind to really think how they can be better used.
मेरे को एक थॉट आ रहा है दिमाग में आप जो बता रहे हैं. एक अभी फर्स्ट ईयर की स्टूडेंट है, तो उसका मेरे से कनेक्ट हुआ, तो कहती भैया मैं 98.4% लाई हूँ, राइट. अब मैं फर्स्ट ईयर में आई हूँ, शी इज़ इन DU. कह रही मेरा पढ़ने का मन नहीं करता. अभी फर्स्ट ईयर में आई है. कहती कि फ्रेंड्स जो हैं, मतलब बहुत, शी केम फ्रॉम Tier 2 स्टेट ऑफ इंडिया. जब यहाँ पे आई तो कह रही दिल्ली का वातावरण देख के सब करके मन नहीं कर रहा पढ़ने का. इवन दो शी हैज़ स्कोर्ड 98.4 इन हर आपका क्या बोलते हैं CBSE बोर्ड्स, राइट. तो अब ऐसे बच्चा, मतलब आप इतने इंटेलिजेंट हैं, लक नो डाउट काम करता है, बट यहाँ पे वो इंटेलिजेंट होके भी कुछ कर नहीं पा रही है. क्या इसके पीछे क्या कारण है? क्या उसको सिस्टम सब कुछ मिला ही है वहाँ पे, तो क्या उसने मिस क्या किया होगा आपके हिसाब से?
You see, unless and until you meet such a person, it is very difficult to say what has put her off. Because when a kid has got such a high percentage, she has probably all the mental wherewithal, to go further. Suddenly कई बार ऐसा हो जाता है कि you have one unhappy experience or something.
Okay, yeah. This was the main thing I would say कि वन अनहैप्पी एक्सपीरियंस कुछ था जो उसके साथ?
That one unhappy experience and that can put you off.
ओके.
So इस मामले में आई थिंक पहले तो मिलना चाहिए और काउंसलिंग कोशिश करनी चाहिए टू रीडिस्कवर herself,
ओके.
to rediscover herself, maybe even at a higher level.
ओके.
So, if she got 98%
जी.
as a student and then some unhappy experience came on the way, and then actually to use that unhappy experience to put her into a higher orbit. And I personally feel it can be done. But it requires a careful counseling and maybe a lot of listening.
ओके.
Lot of listening to get her out of the system. Life is about it's a mix of happiness and not so happy moments. So coping up with all that is very important also in life, and not to take everything to heart, because this appears to be like a decision of a heart, not of a mind. So one has to.
Because she has a great mind, that's why she has
I think so. So. She's probably a very capable girl, and to come out of this kind of attitude, so one has to talk to her.
आपने अभी बोला कॉपिंग अप, इससे मेरे को एक इंटरेस्टिंग वाक्य याद आया. मैं एक कंसल्टेंट से मिला था. ही सेड वेरी अमेजिंग थिंग टू मी. कहते विनीत, डोंट बी अ ज्ञानी, बी ए सॉल्यूशन प्रोवाइडर.
Yeah.
तो वही सॉल्यूशंस मैं आपसे मांग रहा हूँ. और आपने कभी कीवर्ड यूज़ करा था लक. तो लक के लिए मुझे एक अपने लिए बहुत अच्छा फील होता है. 800 करोड़ की दुनिया है, राइट. उसके अंदर मैं भारत में जन्म लेता हूँ. भारत में भी मैं एक प्रीमियम सेगमेंट में जन्म लेता हूँ, राइट. मेरे को ठीक है, रिसोर्सेज की कोई कमी नहीं होती, मेरे अपना पास्ट एक्सपीरियंस है, बट रिसोर्सेज की कोई कमी नहीं होती. अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ आर एंडलेस टू मी अगर मैं सही वे में उसको देखता हूँ, राइट. इन द सेम वे आई वॉन्ट टू गिव यू सम सॉल्यूशंस टू अस. जो आपने अभी अपना ये बुक लिखा हुआ है इकोज ऑफ ह्यूमंस, इसके बेसिस पे डू लेट मी नो अ लिटिल एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ हिंदुइज्म कि लक को कैसे समझे, क्या करे, क्या एक्सरसाइजेस, क्या सॉल्यूशंस हम कर सकते हैं टू इम्प्रूव आवर लक थ्रू हिंदुइज्म और जो भी आपकी फिलोसफीज है, प्लीज.
पहले तो मैं थोड़ा सा इसका बैकग्राउंड बताना चाहूँगा किताब का.
जी.
इट्स कॉल्ड एकोज ऑफ ह्यूमंस, बिलीफ्स एंड पर्सपेक्टिव्स.
जी.
I was always curious about the beginning of anything.
जी.
एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में भी जब कोई चीज़ होती थी तो मैं सोचता था ये कैसे इवॉल्व हुई, ये चीज़, आइडिया कैसे इवॉल्व हुआ.
जी.
तो वही चीज़ धीरे धीरे देन आई सेड हाउ हैव वी इवॉल्व्ड एज ए स्पीशीज.
जी.
व्हेन डिड एग्रीकल्चर कम इन, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ सोसाइटी वाज इट.
क्या हम कुछ इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन की तरफ जा रहे हैं?
No. I mean, generally, not particularly Indus Valley civilization. Civilizations all across the world.
Okay.
So, and then after that, how people needed an anchor like religion
Okay.
or philosophy to anchor their lives. So, those things I found very fascinating. And that is what led me to the study of what I will call the foundational religions and philosophies.
Okay.
And I feel that we call them the big five religions, starting from Hinduism, in chronological order.
Okay.
Hinduism, Judaism, Buddhism, Christianity, and Islam.
Okay.
And the two philosophies of ancient Greece and ancient China. And if you see the geographical spread of these 7 systems of thought, you will see that they are within very narrow latitudes, 10 degrees north to about 35 degrees north.
जी.
Because America wasn't there. Australia, like it was there, but it wasn't really inhabited by, or there wasn't education or anything.
जी.
And northern Europe was very cold. Latitudes north of, what I have said, were very cold, so not conducive to this. These were perfect latitudes.
Okay.
So you had these things spread either from Arabia, the 3, the religions, or from India. Perfect. And the philosophies, where religion wasn't a strong sentiment, you had Greece and China.
जी.
And this is all. These systems of thought. So then I started writing about these. And I discovered that I must I'm drawn to poetry. I said I won't like it in prose form. I will write it in poetic form, in
Okay.
rhyme. So I slowly, one had to read a lot, one had to think a lot. So then this whole process started. And this book is right in front of you. It took me 10 years of studying, putting it together. It's about
And converting into poetry also.
250 pages of poetry.
Right.
And talking about subject which wasn't the easiest for me also, but I learned so many things.
Ji.
I learned so many things. Now you're talking about Hinduism. You said
Luck and Hinduism and solutions for
yeah.
students and youth.
How do you cope up with some of these things? Actually, if you look at the birth of religion,
Ji.
it's not very important whether God exists or not.
Ji.
Some of the religions don't follow God. Buddhism, there is no God, and there is no eminent position or preeminent position of God in Greece or China.
Ji.
It is somewhere there, but it is not preeminent. Like in the Abrahamic religions, the three religions of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, and Hinduism here. So that concept doesn't exist. But God was, as I said, an important anchor. What does a man do when he is suffering? What does he do? When the suffering is so acute that he needs to think something. And Voltaire, a French philosopher, said a very nice thing. He said, even if God did not exist, it would be necessary to invent one. You must invent. You must invent something that you can lean on. Buddhism leans also on a philosophy. Buddhist philosophy leans on something. And these religions lean on. So it is not so important for an omnipotent, figure to exist or create or something. It is the need of the mind of man. Other species don't require God. Because they are, we don't talk to species other than Homo sapiens.
Ji.
And we don't say, okay, you believe in God or whatever. God is a peculiar need of human beings. The way wiring is done, the way the complicated nature of our neurons, and how we think, how we feel fear, how we feel sorrow, there had to be a crutch. So that came in the form of God. Now, when let's say in Hinduism, when you feel that kind of thing, then you are able to give it a wider perspective.
Ji.
Your own failure is situated on a wider canvas.
Ji.
You feel that there is an entity beyond us, which is guiding us, which is holding my hand, and that is the way I should take care of this particular solution.
मैं एक बार इंटरप्ट कर रहा हूँ आपको. मैंने ओशो को बहुत सुनता हूँ मैं. ओशो आई लाइक हिम. दो उसके पॉइंट मुझे अभी भी समझ में आए. पहला पॉइंट ये कि जो भी आप कह रहे हैं, एक सन्यासी की कहानी वो सुनाते हैं. कहते हैं एक सन्यासी अपने घर को छोड़ के जाता है और बाहर जाके कहीं बसता है. वहाँ पे जो भी माता होती हैं, जो भी लेडीज़ होती हैं, उनको माता कहता है, और किसी बुजुर्ग को पिता कहता है, उनको बच्चों को चाचा ताऊ, ये सब नए रिलेशन वो बना ही लेता है. इन द सेम वे आर यू सेइंग कि गॉड हम अपने आप इन्वेंट कर ही लेते हैं, या ह्यूमन का डायरेक्ट नीड है? इज इट दैट वे?
नॉट वेरी डिफरेंट. इट्स ए डायरेक्ट डील विद ए पर्सन हु कांट बी फॉल्टेड. सी, जब आपने छोड़ दिया सारा कुछ, तो आप ये भी कह सकते हैं कि उसमें गलती तो आएगी नहीं नजर. तो द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी अगेन फॉल्स ऑन योर शोल्डर्स. सो वो एक बुरा आइडिया नहीं है. एज एन आइडिया आई थिंक इट्स ए ग्रेट, प्रॉब्ली द ग्रेटेस्ट इन्वेंशन ऑफ ह्यूमन माइंड. But it is also a peculiar need of human beings. Very peculiar need of human beings. लेकिन some societies are able to cope up without. लेकिन they need systems of thought. अब जैसे Buddhist philosophy है, they regard they regard human life as a story of suffering. They say, you suffer because of desire. To get rid of that desire, you have to follow the eightfold path. So you have to get rid of the desire. So that is their way of thinking. So then people look for the eightfold path, right? That again is a difficult path. So that takes the place of God.
Okay.
But again, that is that. In China, they, if you study Confucius,
Right.
there are two things like Ren.
I'm the fan of Confucius because of one thought.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff on
Right.
Confucius here. You have
I want you to say that thought कि जो 100 साल वाला,
हाँ.
have you heard?
No, you can tell me.
Okay, so he said very interesting thing. If you want to invest 1 year, then grow rice. 10 years, then tree. 100 years, then teach a child.
Teach a child.
तो वो अपने आप ही it will replicate and compound.
Very well said.
So I'm very big fan of this thought.
Yeah. And it's a wonderful thing if you study Confucius. Also, in between the lines,
जी.
Confucius talks about two things. They're called Ren and Li. That is propriety and benevolence.
What is it?
Ren and Li.
Ren and Li.
R-E-N and L-I.
Okay.
Chinese words, and it's basically propriety and benevolence. Now, by propriety, he says, how you handle your relationships,
जी.
how you behave before the king, how you behave before your parents. So again, propriety is a form of, I would say, a deity. It gives you a certain system.
जी.
4 legs to hang on to something, a discipline or something. And then benevolence. Don't do anything to the other which you don't want to be done to yourself. So a benevolent structure based on propriety, he gave that, and society found it adequate enough to survive. And then there is Lotse. He was like, I would say, Socrates of, or even you can say Socrates was the Lotse of Greece. So great philosophy. Go the way, follow nature. You are too small a creature to overcome nature. So go the way. It's called the Taoist way. Smell nature, feel nature.
Go with the flow.
Go with the flow. Go with the flow. Don't try to be too smart. Go with the flow. And you will, because if you go against, for example, if you go against the wind, you will not be able to travel that far.
एक इंटरेस्टिंग, अगेन इंटरप्टिंग, बट गो विद द फ्लो के साथ मेरा एक बहुत अच्छा कनेक्शन है. इसको ओशो से ही मैंने सीखा है, समर्पण और संकल्प. ही मेंशन्ड अबाउट 2 थिंग्स. समर्पण मीन्स गो विद द फ्लो, but when my entrepreneurship life is there, then I have to take the very different path. I don't have to be go with the flow. तो यहाँ पे जो मैंने सीखा personally कि go with the flow is for life, complete life. But when you are in entrepreneurship, you have to take risk, and sometimes even while going with the flow, you have to take a little back steps to make things riskier, right? तो इन द सेम वे मैं थोड़ा entrepreneurship पे आपसे जानना चाहूँगा. What do you understand about entrepreneurship?
What you are saying is a very, very good question. Okay, first of all, then we'll have to answer what is the flow.
जी.
One is the flow of nature.
Okay.
Other is the flow of your mind.
Okay.
And your mind, according to Lotse, would be it's part of nature.
जी.
So when you say go with the flow and you're an entrepreneur, your flow is that.
Okay.
Because you're following your basic instincts.
Okay.
You're following that flow. Your flow may not easily seem connected to the larger flow, but as a matter of fact, it is.
Okay.
Your mind is. Because you are, let us say, you are an entrepreneur, you want to be an entrepreneur, you are a person with a lot of desire, aggression, and to do things. That is your flow. Because if you don't do that, you're out of sync. And nature has all kinds of things. Nature's flow is again, we're talking of again a kind of a deity. Again, resting, anchoring your thought on flow, and then you can easily say flow is also like God. So, again and again, you come back to the psychological anchoring of human mind. Again and again, you come, whether it is Hinduism, whatever, psychological anchoring. Now, Islam says, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. There is no God but, God, and Prophet Muhammad is the only messenger of God. again, it is to give people a kind of belief, because limited minds, man has a limited mind, to provide them an anchor. To provide them an anchor. Hinduism has different systems of thought, you know. We don't have one system. We have Advaita, we have all kinds of systems. We have 6 philosophies. We have, you know, Vedas, which talk of so many other things also, even atheism. So you have everything there. So again and again, it is to provide a psychological anchor to the unique mind of Homo sapiens,
जी
to the unique problems, issues which relate to us. That is the purpose of religion. But religion has also done us lot of service and disservice, because because we look at it in a very limited way. If we look at it openly, you think it has provided solutions to the people of that area. See, Arabia was a desert. It wasn't so developed in thought as India was. So it provided a solution which suited those people. To say Islam is superior or inferior is the wrong way of looking at it. It provided a solution which met the needs of that particular geographical area at the level of thought where they were. And all have to be respected, because they are an important need. You see, somewhere different, you see different vegetables, somewhere you see rice, somewhere you see wheat. So to say no, हमारा ही सबसे बड़ा, ऐसा नहीं है. So each is important.
ये यहीं पे कॉन्टेक्स्ट जो भी आपने बोला डिसर्विस,
Yeah.
मतलब इफ़ आई रिलेटेड विद यूथफुल कॉन्टेक्स्ट, मैं पर्सनली फील करता हूँ कि डिसर्विस ज़्यादा कर रहा है आज के टाइम पे जो रिलीजन है. प्लीज़ करेक्ट मी इफ़ आई एम रॉन्ग, कि जो आपका पॉलिटिक्स है दैट इज़ बेस्ड ऑन रिलीजन, 90% इट इज़ बेस्ड ऑन रिलीजन, राइट. तो और दूसरी इंटरेस्टिंग चीज़, मैं हिंदू हूँ, तो जो बाकी मैं क्या है, मेरे को थोड़ा सा स्टडी का, बहुत रिसर्च का बहुत शौक है, तो मैं ज़्यादा डिबेट में नहीं पढ़ता हिंदुज़म के केस में. एंड आई लाइक टू ऑब्जर्व पीपल अराउंड. तो जब हिंदुज़म की बात आती है ना, मैं उनसे पूछता हूँ रात को झाड़ू क्यों नहीं लगाते, क्यों मना किया था, दे डोंट हैव एनी आंसर. तिलक क्यों लगाते हैं, दे डोंट हैव एनी आंसर, राइट. हम सूर्य को जल क्यों देते हैं, दे डोंट हैव एनी आंसर. करे जा रहे हैं तो बस करे जा रहे हैं. और आगे की जो आपकी जनरेशन अल्फा आ रही है, दे आर हाईली लॉजिकल. दे डोंट वांट टू एक्सेप्ट एनीथिंग जस्ट बाय कि आप बड़े हैं तो कह रहे हैं, ठीक है आप बड़े थे होंगे बट लॉजिक दीजिए, राइट. तो इन दैट वे आई फील कि देयर मस्ट नॉट बी एनी रिलीजन. अभी मैं जब आ रहा था दिमाग में एकदम से मेरे थॉट आया, क्लिक करा कि अगर सिर्फ प्यार होता, लव होती एज अ पेडागोजी, अगर एक लव ही सारी जगह स्प्रेड होता तो कितना ब्यूटीफुल होता है. ये सब खिलखिला रहे होते, सब हंस रहे होते, जैसे गार्डन होता हर जगह, राइट. तो आपका क्या मानना है इस केस में कि
सी, इसमें आपने 2 सवाल पूछे हैं. एक तो डिसर्विस का पूछा है, और एक आपने कहा यू नो हाउ टू एस्टैब्लिश लव एंड हाउ रिलीजन कैन बी ए बेसिस फॉर यूनिवर्सल लव. ये दोनों कॉन्सेप्ट्स अनरियलिस्टिक हैं.
ओके.
हाँ. सो एक तो ये है कि हेट्रेड इज एन इम्पॉर्टेंट पार्ट ऑफ अ इमोशनल सेटअप,
ओके.
जस्ट एज फियर इज. आप बुनियादी जो इंसान की बुद्धि है, बुनियादी इंसान की जो मेकअप है साइकोलॉजिकल, वो ऑल दीज इमोशंस एग्जिस्ट साइड बाय साइड. jealousy, envy, hatred, love, all these emotions exist. Now human beings are creative enough to find another outlet. आपने
as we mentioned
आपने धर्म नहीं, धर्म से लोग प्यार मोहब्बत भी बहुत करते हैं, धर्म को यूज भी किया जाता है नफरत के लिए, मैं उससे पूर्णतः सहमत हूँ.
अच्छा.
लेकिन अगर धर्म नहीं देखेंगे तो किसी और चीज में देख लेंगे. बिकॉज hatred is like water, love is like water. All these sentiments which are the basis of your neuron, I would say neurons, or the complicated
Biology.
things in your mind, the way you have evolved as a species, these are very unique to human beings. And all these emotions will find an outlet in one form or the other. आप बड़े बड़े संत महात्मा देख लें, आप जैसे ही उनसे किसी दूसरे महात्मा की थोड़ी तारीफ करें, नो What is that? That is jealousy. So scratch human beings and you will not find much difference. Even the greatest people that you respect, scratch them a bit, you will find an animal beneath. And all these sentiments, are part of our fabric.
ये एक सीरीज आई थी, वेब सीरीज, उसमें कह रहे थे कि बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग बोला कि एक बार इंसान को मौका तो दीजिए, वो अपना जानवर निकाल के दिखाएगा।
वो हमेशा
हाँ, मतलब मौके की तलाश में है।
मौके की तलाश में। You know what happened during partition? I mean, I was reading yesterday.
जी
I'm just telling you what happens. You know, Mento was a Pakistani writer, and he has written some short stories about partition. So
क्या नाम बताया? मेंटो।
Mento, M-A-N-T-O.
अच्छा।
So Mento was born in India and all that. Then partition, the family left. So during partition, a girl is raped by 8 people. She is in a bad state of mind. She finds herself in a hospital, and doctor says, pointing at the window, he tells the girl, "Khol do." She opens her garments because her mind has been conditioned like that. वो जानवर, क्योंकि वो एक्सपोज होगी जानवरों से, उसके दिमाग में एक ही चीज आई। यू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट आई मीन?
यस यस।
तो जानवर जो है आदमी में, वो लड़के शायद उनमें कई अच्छी क्वालिटीज भी हों, बट यू नो, blown by that hurricane and what you call disinformation and all that, or whatever actually may have happened also, but they gave, you know, they gave vent to that kind of thing, and human beings suffer acutely.
मैं थोड़ा सा इमोशनल हो जाऊंगा, सॉरी फॉर दिस। कल ही एक यूनिवर्सिटी में मैं गया था, तो इससे कनेक्टेड मैं बताता हूँ आपको। अभी जो इमोशनल एस्पेक्ट था, मैं आ रहा था तो सोनीपत के साइड इतना पानी भरा हुआ, और मेरे को ना पुअर और रिच का एक डिफरेंस समझ आता है, बहुत जल्दी समझ आता है कि क्या एस्पेक्ट चल रहा है, राइट। तो एक तरफ मैं अभी अबंडेंस देख के आया हूँ, और अभी सामने मैं देख रहा हूँ प्रॉब्लम्स हैं और पुअर है, राइट। वो बेचारे स्ट्रगल कर रहे हैं, और रिच जो है मस्ती मार रहा है अबंडेंस के साथ। 2 लास्ट क्वेश्चन जिसको हम आगे रैप अप करते हैं। फर्स्ट, अबंडेंस के एस्पेक्ट में आपका क्या कॉन्टेक्स्ट है? जैसे भी एनिमल वाला केस था कि अबंडेंस होती है तो क्या एस्पेक्ट होता है, स्कार्सिटी होता है तब क्या एस्पेक्ट होता है, और इसका सॉल्यूशन क्या है? अगर मेरे पास अबंडेंस है तो 90% में चीज़ें खराब ही कर रहा होता हूँ, राइट, बट स्कार्सिटी होती है तो मैं कुछ इनोवेशन कर रहा होता हूँ। तो व्हाट इज़ योर एस्पेक्ट टुवर्ड्स अबंडेंस इन लाइफ?
I personally, I think abundance is a great tragedy. Abundance is not a happy state to be in. If you look at nature again, you know, look at nature.
जी
If you overwater a plant,
जी।
it will die. Abundance kills initiative. Abundance makes you want things which are quintessentially useless.
जी।
Scarcity is very bad also. Scarcity doesn't allow you to experience possibilities which exist in your personality.
जी।
Now, when I interact with, I always try to interact with people to learn from them. I find there is so much talent, awareness, desire amongst the poor people. I said somewhere also that the rivers of gold in India, India's rivers of gold flow through the bastis of India, not through the not through the pampered lot. इतना टैलेंट है, इतनी चीज़ें हैं उनमें, इतनी अलर्टनेस है, and I have no hesitation in saying that the kids are smarter, the kids are much better, but the opportunity is not there. So हमारे जो सोने के दरिया हमारे बीच में से गुजर रहे हैं, और हम उनको, वही होना चाहिए। Abundance is a kind of a curse.
Right.
This is what I feel. Their lives are often so shallow and so much influenced. But what others are doing who have abundance, there is no individuality. Very few of them have. Some of them have saved themselves. But I would still say scarcity is better because scarcity tests your, and the world was a very scarce place a few generations back. And out of scarcity came all these things. And but yes, both are painful. But I would say abundance is extremely painful to watch. And you almost feel sorry, if not pity.
सरल भाषा में तो है कि होने के बाद भी मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता. Abundance is like that.
उसके वो बुरा नहीं है जिसके पास abundance है. वो परिस्थितियों की वजह से
जी.
वो पनप नहीं पाएगा. उसका कोई बेचारे का कसूर नहीं है. उसको ये भी नहीं पता कि वो मतलब वो फंस गया है. तभी तो सारे कहते हैं द बर्डन ऑफ ओनरशिप, द पेन ऑफ ओनरशिप. कितना इतना क्या संभालोगे, क्या क्या करोगे. तुम्हारे पास एक कमीज या दो कमीज़ें, दो पतलून है, तुम उसी में प्रसन्न हो. इतने इतने बड़े जैसे बुल्ला शाह, इतने ललन फ़कीर, इतने बड़े बड़े, उसी में नॉट ओनली खुश लेकिन टोटली. बिकॉज सारा बैकयार्ड है तुम्हारा. तुम्हारा घर है, वो दो कमरे थोड़ी हैं. दिस होल नेचर इज़ योर बैकयार्ड. तो इतना कुछ है, आप उसमें और जोड़े जा रहे हैं मेरे को गाड़ी ये वो. तो इट इज़ काइंड ऑफ, आई वुड से, लुकिंग एट लाइफ फ्रॉम ए वेरी वेरी नैरो पर्सपेक्टिव. इट इज़ ऑलमोस्ट ट्रेजिक. तो बट ये है कि वो जो स्केर्सिटी में लोग जी रहे हैं उनको अबंडेंस दे दो, दे विल बिहेव एग्जैक्टली. ये नहीं है.
These are the states basically.
These are states.
Okay.
These are states. It is just that, scarcity gives you more challenge and you respond to it. And a few of them make it also. But I have seen so much talent lying on the roadsides of India. I feel, so much can be done. This is what I feel.
लास्ट क्वेश्चन. आपने IAS कंटिन्यू करा या आपने बीच में छोड़ा, या क्या जर्नी रही थी आपकी एज इन?
No, I worked in the service for 30 years.
ओके.
25 in India and 5 I was still in the IAS when I worked as a consultant to Asian Development Bank in Colombo.
सो वो भी IAS के अंडर ही था, मतलब इट वाज जस्ट गवर्नमेंट?
Still in the service.
अच्छा.
But I was kind of on deputation with the ADB. When I came back, I just wanted to do something else.
Okay.
For example, writing this book became my passion. And also, I just felt my journey in the service was over. Just again, feeling hard to describe. Because actually the best years may have been ahead of me as far as service hierarchy is concerned. लेकिन मेरा को जैसे होता है ना कि मन ने कहा कि नहीं, अब रास्ता बदलो. तो फिर रास्ता बदला. फिर लिखा मैंने 2-3 किताबें लिखी हैं कि, और फिर मैंने अपने गांव में गया. गांव में एक स्कूल बनाया. बड़ी खुशी हुई कि वो सक्सेसफुली चल रहा है. तो दैट इज़ व्हाट इट इज़. या
वन लास्ट थिंग, एक मैसेज that you want to give to the youth basically, that what you should do and what you should not do in context to their careers.
Yeah, all this messaging is fruitless unless and until you try to look within, and it is not something new that I'm saying. All people much more sensible than us have said this. Ultimately, you are the world. Don't look at the world too much. You are the world. And you have to look within yourself and have the courage to follow the path which your mind dictates you. And whatever it takes, I tell you, if you fail, that failure will be far more satisfying than the success that you achieve according to what other people think as success. So, and India is such an exciting place to be in. I've had the opportunity to go around the world. I can tell you that the countries that I've really liked, I liked Vietnam very much. I even liked Myanmar very much. And I love India not because it is my country. I love it because where we are positioned as a country, where the various folks are positioned, there are enormous opportunities. And you have such a rich and varied culture, such great possibilities. So if you can bend your mind, or if you can, if you have a naturally mind attuned to these things, this is the place to be. You're very lucky to be born in this country. Take it from me.
राइट. थैंक यू वेरी मच सर. एंड काफ़ी कुछ सीखा मैंने भी एंड कुछ चीज़ें रीलर्न भी हुई. आई कॉल इट एज, मैंने मतलब लाइफ को, मैं बहुत यंग हूँ बट लाइफ ने मुझे अबंडेंस दी, क्या दिया, स्कार्सिटी दिया, सब कुछ दिया. मेरे को एक लाइन बहुत अच्छी लगी अपने लिए, लेट्स रीथिंक वाई वी एग्जिस्ट इन दिस यूनिवर्स. आई हैव मेड इट माई ओन टैग लाइन. जब भी कुछ करते हैं ना तो आई कीप इन माइंड कि वाई आर वी डूइंग.
Excellent.
Thank
you know
you.
that self questioning is an ongoing process.
राइट.
और वो करना चाहिए, और हमेशा. और कुछ सिग्नल्स मिलते हैं.
Right. Every day there is a learning for me.
Yeah.
And that's what it is called as relearning.
कुछ लाइफ थ्रोज सम सिग्नल्स
Right.
कि अब टाइम ये खत्म हो गया, अब ये टाइम शुरू करने वाला, ये चीज करनी है. Take those signals seriously. You never know when those signals are coming, and it's hard to attribute it to anything.
जी.
It is just like that. It happens, and you should believe in yourself, and not follow anybody. I would say not follow anybody.